Hello everyone, welcome back to my reading of Fate Prototype Fragments of Sky Silver. We're going to be continuing on with the next chapter in just a second, but we also did get the translated, not yet typeset, but translated character bios. And so since we're kind of at a point where I think it's a good idea, let's start to take a look. First off, we have a rash here, right? I should go see a doctor about that, I think. So a rash, that's his casual outfit. So the third ranked, and this is done by Fume. So shoutouts to Fume. Fume translated these for us, and they'll be typeset by another group, right? So we'll get those in the credits there. But thanks to Fume for these translations. So the third ranked Servant Archer, a hero of ancient Persia, considered a savior. A warrior permeated by the mystery of the Age of Gods. He was a vassal of Manichahar. He was said to be the last king of the Age of Gods in West Persia. And it is said he brought an end to a long-standing war between Persia and Tehran. I'm going to be honest. Reading this story is the first time I've ever heard of Tehran. I'm going to be super real. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, right? Like, why would I lie? I've never heard of this place before. He was a great hero who brought peace and tranquility to the people of both nations and is revered by many today. Should he put his entire body into a shot, it was said it will even split the earth. So he uses Ore. Yeah, he's no Boku boy, you know? He's a third-ranked servant, true name Arash. He has magic resistant, independent action, clairvoyance. I think that's meant to be robust health. Oops, I'm gonna have to make sure to fix that there. Also, I have translated my Fume in the wrong section, but that's okay. And Noble Phantasm, Lone Meteor, Stella. Strength B, Endurance A, Agility B+, Magical Energy E, Luck D, Noble Phantasm B+. All right. Right, so we see him here. Yeah, we know about him. Now, as for the new character, we got Elsa here. What a cute little outfit, honestly. It's an adorable outfit. She's actually really cute. All right, so Elsa Saijo, right? She uses Atashi. She's the 5th ranked master. She uses Elemental Conversion Magecraft, Circuitry C, Circuit Quality C, Quantity B, Normal Composition. So, Amega's proficient in Wind Elemental Conversion Magecraft. Though she's a woman in her 20s, she looks younger than she is. She's half Japanese and half German, possessing citizenship in both countries. Unlike most magi, she gives off the impression of not believing herself above the mundane world. In fact, her official occupation is that of a photographer. After somehow losing her child... Okay, so I guess, you know, this would have been less of a surprise if you read the stuff there. She came face to face with bloodshed in a certain conflict-ridden country. Again, they don't say which one that is. After the shock of what she'd seen, she wished for a world where all mothers and children would be saved. Oh, yeah, and then that's why... Then that's very much why she freaks out when she has to fight Manaka there. She's also pretty good at both Japanese and German home-style cooking. All right. Yeah, that's her. We then have Lancer here, right? All right. Lancer. So, she uses Watashi, 4th Bernhilder, Monoburst, Flame Riding, Primordial Runes, Divinity, Noble Phantasm, A Trip to Hell Just for Me. I don't think we've ever heard of that one. Because we know Bernhilder Romantia, Until Death Tears Us Apart. That one's in FGO. But A Trip to Hell Just for Me, Bernhilder Comedia, I don't know that one. Okay. B+ Strength, A Endurance, A Agility, C Magical Energy, E Luck, and Noble Phantasm A. The 4th ranked servant Lancer, a tragic Valkyrie told of in Norse mythology. She was driven to suffering through a combination of 3 factors: her inherent function to seek out heroes, possessing the memory and the psyche of having died as a woman loving a human man, and the orders forced upon her by her master. Though she is summoned with 2 noble phantasms, due to several reasons, the second one is never used, but in exchange, she was able to unleash power on par with a 3rd noble phantasm. Huh. I guess we'll learn about that first one then. Very interesting. And finally, we got Nigel here. Right? Nigel Soward. So let's learn a bit about him. He also uses Watashi. Really? That's interesting. Because that one, both of them use it, which is interesting. Okay. So let's see here. Master rank 2nd. Original Magecraft using alchemy as a base. BB normal, some alterations to the manifestation of his origin. A Magus from England, affiliated with a clock tower. His skill in alchemy is first rate to the point he could be called a genius. While the foundation of his magecraft system lies in alchemy, he exploited a form of unique magecraft, a personal magical foundation, by exploiting the nature of his origin obsession. That's a rough one to be born with. Do not introduce this guy to gambling. Holy crap. Through this, he's capable of producing the highest grade elixirs, probably those, particularly those that exert control over human emotions. Even if his homeland of Britain, his achievements in the field of human domination and manipulation are unrivaled. In order to maximize the effect of Lancer's noble phantasm, he prepared a special elixir. But... okay. So he's just kind of mage man, huh? Okay. I see. Well, we are on... oh, I think we're on the final act, aren't we? No. We're on Act 4? I don't know. Numbers are hard. Where were we? Let's see here. So we had him die. He went away. Yeah, okay. No, we're on Act 4. No, we got one more after this. Okay. So, that said, let's get going. Dear my hero, Act 4. Heroes. I know what they are. They are those whose feet tread Neustria? What the frick is Neustria? What in tarnation is Neustria? Neustria was the western part of the kingdom of the Franks during the Middle Age? They made a whole kingdom for people named Frank? Okay. In contrast to the Eastern Frankish subkingdom, Austrasia? Wait, no, it's not Austria, it's Austrasia? Oh my god, I've never heard of any of these. It initially included land between Loire and the Silvia Carbonara. Well, these are not real places. You're making these up. You're making these up. I've never heard of these places. Anyways. Oh, well, right there. They are those whose feet tread Neustria and whose lungs are filled with fragments of Austrasia. Am I saying that right? Because it's not Austria. It's Austrasia. Huh. Passionately yearn for as they walk toward the final hour of their finite lives and bodies. The embodiments of an unattainable dream. Warriors of hope who stand bathed in the uncounted glories and envies of others, sometimes bearing swirling hatred and jealousy, subduing evil and doing good. Those who strike down invading foes, those who end prolonged wars, those who fight evil lurking... is that with people or should be within? Lurking with people? Let's go among, because then there's no worry. Those who slay wicked dragons who devour innocent lives. Heroes have existed since ancient times, since the age of gods. They fought, even as the era of... you know what, let's make that one sentence. Even as the era of mystery came to an end, as they moved beyond ancient illusion, accumulating wisdom and developing civilizations, many shone brightly and then faded away. I have borne witness to many of them. The act of witnessing was my true purpose, my form, though I did abandon it all to stay by his side. Nothing changes, does it? Past or present. I muttered in the pouring rain. The rain in Tokyo was bitterly cold. It was a climate untouched by blizzards like the claws of Fenrir. I knew. This chill must have been something different from the real thing. Standing not on the earth of modern age, but on asphalt, which I say at asphalt, I know, I'm sorry. My limbs, skin, face, hair, my entire body was composed of ether. It was not a true physical form. I breathed air polluted with chemicals, gazing up at the gray sky from an Akihabara back alley and thought, pondered, neither exercising my innate functions nor making automatic judgments, as humans do, I thought. All-Father. Father who bestowed upon me this blessing of an eternal curse. Through countless ages, the world has endured unchanged. Warriors continue. The world had endured unchanged. Warriors continued their unchanging struggle. Even those whose tragic, bitter ends carved them into a throne... You know what? I don't like there. I know what it's saying, but I like the into the throne of heroes, unrelated to our Valhalla. Okay, you know what? That's kind of nice. We get a little bit of actual confirmation that Valhalla is not the throne of heroes. I definitely thought that there might be a connection there, but it is unrelated. Okay. They too walk righteous paths, guided not by a cauldron, but the Holy Grail, even when they are destined to kill one another. For instance, indeed, I want to talk to you. I recalled voices from long ago. The voices of a man who ceaselessly struggled to be good and the boy who was his friend. Two pure souls who threw themselves into mortal danger, refusing to travel the heinous acts of the pitiful to tolerate the heinous acts of the pitiful girl who continued to devour souls around JR Ikebukuro Station. As I revealed myself, leaving my spirit form and brandishing my great spear, the boy made a declaration. His words, with eyes like glittering stars. I shall never forget them. Now they are Einherjar, bound for Valhalla. I'm an arrow. In the end, I can only go straight, you know. Another voice. Another warrior. Father, his eye was sharp, but it was not quite a match for your own. They're talking about the clairvoyance there, right? He was a man I once crossed blades with, who exchanged words with me each time we met thereafter. An archer who declared to me without hesitation that though he may have had a fervent wish, it was not the sort he would wish upon anyone but himself, and certainly not upon the Holy Grail. His profile, his smile that was like a cool breeze. I shall never forget his heroic form as he fulfilled his duty over Tokyo Bay to the very end. I will accept your surrender at any time. A knight does not draw his blade against a lady. Ah, and then there was him, the one who continued to trouble me. In the Holy Grail War, a ritual conducted by Magi of this era, he was a knight whose noble soul shone brighter than any other, the heroic spirit of the sword, a warrior with a holy sword, who exposed himself before the desire of an enemy who had become a mad beast, who struck down the advancing, terrifying Sphinx, who challenged the God King who declared that he would burn the entire city to ashes. Yes, that is why people called him a knight with pride, praise and longing in their voices. I understand, I do. This body, which once belonged to a knight who selected souls along her sisters, knows full well. Saber, he who could act with compassion even on the battlefield. O gentle one, he who made a contract with the world without welcoming his death. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay. That is what troubles me about you. He who manifested in Tokyo while maintaining his righteous life. I think I yearn. There is no way I could ever entirely suppress this flame that smolders deep, deep within my breast. It is not possible. It is as if I've awakened within the flames themselves. It was surely the effect of the potion brewed by my master, who bound my consciousness and actions using the power of the Holy Grail. At the same time, I have another thought. Perhaps, Father, it is because I am your daughter. Even in this body that has fallen, this soul that should have died as a human, could it be that a function of it still remains, one that cannot help but be drawn to the radiance of heroes? That must be what I feel, not only for him, but for all the brave heroes who lost their lives in this vast Far Eastern city. Even if it is pointless to voice what that feeling might truly be now, as I stand in the rain, the thought continues to race through my mind. Amidst the cracking madness within me, I feel my own nature. Though the one I truly loved is not here, the people who fill the earth. An unbearable heat, an unbearable sweetness, an unbearable aching. This was why I lost my qualification as a Valkyrie. She's thinking of all the boys. She feels like a reverse harem protagonist. She's like all these boys to choose from. I know that's not what it is, but what it kind of looks like. Hostility, No. Hatred? No. Rage? No. More heat. More sweetness, more aching. Surely, this is what they call love. That is why I became the woman named Brynhildr, Father. Command spells. The Stairway to Heaven. Right? That's the song. The right to participate. I'd play that if I didn't get mega copyrighted. The right to participate in the Holy Grail War bestowed upon a master's body. We have written on this subject several times. We will record it here once more because you seem like the type that needs things repeated to you. Yep. The command spell is proof that one is among the 7 participants selected by the Holy Grail. How exactly the Holy Grail chooses its masters, the detail of that system, remains entirely unclear. According to accounts, the Holy Church and the Mage Association, Magi with spells deemed worthy of participation, Magi with wishes, deemed worthy of participation in the ritual, obtain command spells. Of course, this remains unproven. The exact nature of each Magi's wish is also uncertain. We cannot state definitively that they all seek the Holy Grail. Is there a tendency for those residing in the city where the Greater Grail resides to be chosen more easily? In the 1991 Holy Grail War, 5 participants were Tokyo residents, 2 were foreign to the land. No, this too remains uncertain. Given the unknown nature of the selection system, there is simply too little information to call it a trend. In any case, only by obtaining command spells can a Magus become a participant in the Holy Grail War. That is, to attain a rank correlating with an angel. A master's rank is said to be assigned in accordance with each Magi's innate aptitude for mystery. This tier system is so interesting, and I do kind of want them to bring this back in a real Grail War. I guess this is one. For example, one with the most talent would attain the highest rank, the first degree. For example, one ignorant of the world's truths would attain the lowest rank, the 7th degree. First degree, 7 wings, Seraphim. Second degree, 6 wings, Cherubim. Third degree, 5 wings, Thrones. Fourth, 4 Dominions. Fifth, Virtues. Sixth, 2, I got numbers wrong. Fourth. Fifth, 3 Virtues. Sixth, 2 Powers. And 7th, 1 Princess. Now hold the phone. I don't think Princess is a layer of Angel. That almost implies that you are mortal at that one. That's an interesting one. Wait a sec. Isn't it Prince? Wait a sec. Is it Prince? Angel hierarchy. Is it princes? Because I think I've heard of princes as the highest rank. Seraphim, Cherubim, Thrones, Dominions, Virtues, Powers, Principalities, Virtues, so under Powers. I wonder if that's meant to be Principalities. Then again, I don't know if it's different for this, right? I don't know. That one might need some external research. I could see it being princes, because I've heard of that before, but princess, I don't know. Son of a gun, you know what I have? I have the book. Let me go grab it. One sec, I have the Japanese book, I just remembered. Okay, so I forgot that, I bought Japanese copies of all the books, which will be very helpful. For now, I can actually just do a check here, because I have the page open. I'm going to do this. So it says, oh my god, it's written in English. It is literally written in English, princess. Well, that settles that then, huh? It's literally in English. They have English Ruby text. Seraphim, Cherubim, Thrones, Dominions, Virtues, Powers, Princess. Yeah, no, that is, that can't be wrong. It is absolutely, in my physical copy I hold within my hands of the Japanese original, which, by the way, is a... Can I just say, it is very strange to look at this because it is written, vertically down. I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese novel and to actually see the text be all, vertical down. I'm like, oh, I guess that's how they look, huh? just a little unexpected. Anyways, yeah, so no, that's written in English Ruby text. It says, princess, so that's that then. That's yeah, unambiguous. Very strange. Now I wonder no, but then here's the next problem. Do you think that Sakurai's wrong? Uh-oh. Ironically, it is the godless Magus who possess angelic wings. Art! I don't think there's anything that says the mages have to be atheist. Is the joke or not the joke, but is it more referring to the fact that it's not the church, you know? They serve as the guide for the servants summoned by the Holy Grail as good souls. Indeed, the heroic spirits summoned from the throne after death are undoubtedly lost souls. Whether one views this as typical Holy Church dramatics or the inevitability of the Holy Grail, that discussion is beyond the scope of this writing. An excerpt from an old notebook. Okay, so there were 3 days after the battle. On a certain day of February 1991, 3 days after the decisive battle over Tokyo Bay. Lancer, your observations are interesting. Under the pouring rain, a man stood. In Chiyoda Ward, Tokyo, a corner of Akihabara. The scene played out atop a 5-story commercial building. Underneath the February sky, still thick with the chill of winter, the man's words rang out colder than pouring rain itself. Cruel, cold-blooded. These descriptions fit him well. His gaze, like an icy blade through his sunglasses, was fixed on the woman crouched before him. A man and a woman drenched in rainwater. The man sat motionless, looking down on her. The woman, unable to meet his gaze, could do nothing but tremble. Was it a quarrel over sexual matters? The end of a honeymoon? The rupture of mutual affection? Either way, was it just another messy affair between a man and a woman? Wait, what? Oh, no, it's them. Oh, it's describing them. Okay. I thought they were looking at someone else, but no, okay, I see. No, this was different. Though no other eyes gazed upon the scene, this blind spot in the city, even if by some chance they did, they would not mistake it for such a thing. The peculiar distance between them, even if the man reached out, he would never reach the woman. If either wished to touch the other, both would have to reach out. More than that, the man's aura was unlike any ordinary human, and the woman's form was so perfect it defied reality itself. Like a supreme work of art sculpted by the gods themselves, each part of her was crafted to resemble human form and was undeniably the body of a human, yet overall she was so beautiful that she could not merely be human. A flesh and blood embodiment of pure fantasy. The wet porcelain of her neck, her amethyst eyes that glistened with sorrow, even the raindrops falling along her well-shaped chin entered the realm of mystery. Okay, listen. I know, like, you're kind of talking her up, but to say that she's so beautiful she approaches the realm of mystery, I feel we're kind of losing the plot on how important mystery is, you know? I get it, she's beautiful, but like, I don't think she's that beautiful, is she? Her melancholic, trembling figure, arms wrapped around herself as she seemed to fight something off. It was as if the very concept of a sorrowful woman had been given form. In a sense, the description was an accurate one, for she was not a creature that had truly lived as a human. Born as a mythical being, she had fallen down to humanity. A woman, or something like one, whose fate was sealed in tears, the remnant of a Valkyrie who lived through ancient Norse legend, recorded as a heroic spirit after she met her end as a human being. If the northern legends were true, one could say that she took on this form from the moment she chose to be human. The fourth-ranked servant. The class granted to her upon manifestation the Holy Grail was Lancer. This was her true form, not a banshee, simply a woman wailing and weeping over a cursed love. Indeed, the rain suited her well. Did all the droplets tracing her cheeks fall from the sky? Or did they overflow from her violet eyes? Either way, Lancer's form draws people closer and closer. Humans. Men in particular. When one saw her like this, so consumed by sorrow, how could they not react? Reactions varied heavily depending on the individual, but it would be impossible to be entirely indifferent. However, this man was different. Could you imagine if it just comes down to, no, he's gay? That would be insane. A gay British man? Impossible. You may cry. You may lament. That is perfectly acceptable. A proper reaction, even. The man, Nigel Sailward, did not seem even in the slightest bit disturbed. He had no interest in her beauty, which was only truly complete as she endured sorrowful tears. He felt no emotion. Therefore, he could not show any reaction. From the day he was born, the only emotion that he possessed was obsession. That singular primal force threatened to manifest even more powerfully than his own thaumaturgical attributes. At least that was how Nigel perceived himself, and his every word indeed only served to confirm that self-image. No sympathy, no pity, no affection, no compassion, only coldness, unmoving, unfeeling. He observed reality dispassionately and acted with precision, in this case, with words. Tears and lamentation are proper expressions of emotions derived from love. That is good. You are cultivating emotion. The rate at which you've increased has been flawless, exceeding my expectations. Devoid of warmth, the voice carried out its assessment. It was not encouragement. Love. One of the crucial responses that at times can control the lives of intelligent life forms called human beings. The increasing of it is what truly strengthens your noble phantasm. No matter how unique a heroic spirit may be, they are no match for us alone. If you truly pour your love into them, an assessment of her value as a weapon, as equipment, that was what he relayed. They can be eliminated with ease. If your love was deep enough, you could slay even a god. The Magus was correct. Lancer's mithril spear was her noble phantasm. More specifically, an anti-unit noble phantasm with the characteristic that its power varied from target to target depending on the intensity of love for them burning within its wielder. Therefore, if given the right conditions, she could even kill Hell, queen of the underworld. Hey, does she exist in Fate? Is that what we're saying? That'd be cool. That'd be a cool servant, I'm just saying. The more she loved, the more her spear would cleave them in a single blow. One strike, one kill. Now hold up, that's a different servant. That's my boy Li Shuven. Her spear embodied an illusion so profound that it was possible to kill someone with sorrow, lamentation, and the ultimate expression of love. That was the embodiment of Lancer, who was both heroic spirit and demigod. The elixir Nigel refined was perfectly suited to her noble phantasm. Tristan and Isolde, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and so forth. So on and so forth, the apex of alchemy, modeled after elixirs and legends and stories told worldwide. A potion meant to control and manipulate emotions to bring forced love to whoever consumes it. Yeah, Midsummer Night's Dream had the love in what was it? The love in waiting, whatever. I just spent today writing about like my test for my students for Midsummer Night's Dream. Hey, did you know that it's kind of messed up that like the whole point of that is like Theseus is getting married to Hippolyta? Those are two fate servants. And at one point Theseus is like, fairies, those don't exist. And I'm like, buddy, you fought a minotaur. You're gonna draw the line at Oberon? That's crazy, man. Also, if you know Fate, there's some wacky stuff that goes on in that. Anyways, Tristan and Isolde, I forgot that also has a love potion. A small trigger would be enough. Kindness, strength. The potion could transform even the slightest goodwill, empathy, sympathy into love. By force, without hesitation, distorting, twisting, rewriting. If the consumer still... Okay, I mean, I guess it's the one who consumes it, but I just read that word and that's not what I think of. If the consumer still harbored love for another, the potion would react powerfully, consuming the smoldering embers of that flame. In humans, it could instantly dominate all mental activity within one's limbic system. Limbic system? Limbic system. The complex of the brain. Okay. Controls basic emotions and drives hunger, sex, dominance, care. Okay, no, you're fine. Okay. Why was I thinking of something else for the limbic system? I don't know. That didn't sound right. It's a good thing I'm not a bio teacher. For mystical life forms in particular, it would feel like an illusion that could pierce deep within their spiritual core. Resistance was impossible. No, one could not even form the will to try resisting. When falling in love and creating affection, they descend into madness. That was Nigel's conclusion, reached through observation and experimentation as a magus. It was not, of course, born from his own experience. Bawl your eyes out. Lament. Tremble. These are fine manifestations of your heightened emotion. However, removing his dark glasses, he spoke. Resistance will not be tolerated. Yes, Lancer had voiced her defiance against the man, her master. About 20 minutes prior, on the 4th floor of the very same commercial building, within the man's hidden base, Nigel's response was simple. Not rage, not disappointment, not rebuttal, simply an order to consume more of the elixir. Your words truly fascinate me. You tell me that this is enough, even if you were a mere temporary body composed of ether. To think that a being with mental activity and an intelligent brain would dare to defy my elixir. She refused additional medication. Like a mere mortal woman, not a heroic spirit, she tried to flee but failed. Now, crouched trembling on the rooftop where the freezing cold rain refused to cease, even something supernatural like her had no choice but to do so. Nigel finally removed his sunglasses. The 6-winged pattern appeared in his right eye. Oh, it's in his eye? Oh my god, Fire Emblem Awakening. With a single stroke of his command spell, Lancer was transformed into an ordinary, helpless woman. The command spell flickered, and for an instant, 6 wings of light seemed to rise behind the man. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Archangel, second in the ranking of masters, poised as if he were flaunting his authority. Okay. He declared to his lackey, "There's no need to worry." Unaware of the true nature of the passion churning within her heart, the acquisition of the Holy Grail should be your long-held desire. Unable to see what breaking, shattering her would accomplish. Please, stop. In agony, Lancer cried into the rainy night sky, wailed. This was not the reason. Why had she manifested in this far eastern land? For love. For the Sky Silver Knight? To take the life of your beloved. That is your singular purpose. Cold, ruthless words, forcing his reality upon her. Nigel stepped forward, wings of light on his back. Okay, the wings of light thing is kind of cool. I don't know if we heard about that, but that's kind of cool. He closed the distance. In an instant. No, the woman spoke. A desperate plea, defying the command spell's order to consume the elixir. No. My true love, my sorrow, I once gave it all to him. Then do the same now. His voice was unchanged. I offered it. The moment I took my beloved's life, in that tragedy, when I slaughtered every last one of his retainers, I swore. To myself and to my father, I swore it. That is why I... No, not like this. I can't. With her strained voice, her spear. She likely hadn't realized, but her spear, her noble phantasm, had materialized in her hand. A giant spear. Compared to when it clashed with sabers near the base of Ikabukuro's skyscrapers, it had swollen to roughly twice its size. Is this a penis metaphor? Huh. It had swollen to roughly twice its size. That word swollen is the one is getting me. The blade alone was nearly as tall as a human. Its weight exceeded 1,800 kilograms. If swung around the object of her affection, it would feel hundreds of times heavier. The spear continued to grow of its own accord. 1,900 kilograms, 2,000 kilograms in 2 seconds. With each second, that Lancer's clenched molars ground against one another more. Look, see how your love swells. That is you. This is what you are. No. She screamed for some time. Lancer wrapped both of her arms around her body tighter and tighter. Yes, this isn't him. Saber isn't him. He is absolutely not him, and I offer my love to him alone. His name, the name of the dragon-slaying hero and my beloved, he who embraced this body of mine, betrayed by the Allfather and stripped of all dignity, he who swore his love to me. Sigurd is the only one, my... Her cries were sucked into the heavens above. Rain washed it all away. Who could know that this very scream was proof that her flame was burning at its limit? That this agony and rejection, this mad outburst, was the ultimate expression of Lancer Brynhilder's love. Something had peeled so fatally away, and thus something else had risen to the surface. Lancer rose, holding her massive spear that now exceeded 2,300 kilograms in one hand with ease. The tip of its blade barely grazed the surface, yet the massively heavy spear, with its mass and magical energy condensed to an impossible density, sliced through the rooftop of the commercial building. Had her grip faltered by even just a few centimeters, the entire building would have been cleaved in two. As if the way she trembled like a dog just moments ago had been all a lie, Lancer stood with a graceful poise. Swoosh! She sliced through the air with her spear. Not a single trace of the frail human woman remained, as the embodiment of beauty, having reclaimed the dignity of a goddess, as a cruel soul who witnessed the ends of warriors, as a ferocious blade that never let those it once loved slip by. She was complete. It seemed as though even her tears, her lamentation, had been mere steps in a process that led to this moment. Yes, Master. What transformation had occurred within her during that brief exchange? She smiled at the Magus, who stood frozen still, unable to comprehend a fraction of it. With extraordinary softness, gentleness, the smile of a goddess indeed. I will kill Sigurd. Is that what you desire? Oh boy, I see where we are now. Somewhere in the dark, voices whispered. A girl who bloomed like a flower, a sage with closed eyes. Somewhere deep beneath Tokyo, in darkness unseen by any eye, in depths untouched by any hand, there was a colossal chalice, drifting in slumber, longing for the hour of its awakening. It was the Greater Grail. It would activate when 7 virtuous souls were consumed as sacrifices, the embodiment of the miracle that the Holy Church believed in, the crystallization of mankind's petty desires. Or perhaps it was blank itself. Blank. Well, now I'm curious. Was it 2 blanks in the original? Let me see here. So we are... How far are we from a thing? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be fun. I'm going to have to look for this. I'm real curious. Okay. So after the picture, we got... Okay, so it's the first one after the picture. All right, let's see here. Is it 2 blanks in my book? I'm opening it up. That's too far. Let's see here. Okay, there's the picture. First line. Okay, that is a direct translation. It is the 2 squares is a direct translation. So I wonder what that could be. 2 Japanese symbols. I don't know. You know what? If it's 2 symbols, I'm going to make it 4. Because then that would be like 2 words, right? Because if think about this. If a Japanese like character is usually like 2 letters in English, then that probably means it's 4. And then plus it could be hell itself, right? Lady Manaka, I come bearing a report. What is it, Caster? Oh, I'm guessing it's about Lancer. Yes. My surveillance network has detected her. She's moving at a high speed over a long distance repeatedly. She likely believes that she is searching for Saber, but she has begun to lose control. She's gone mad, hasn't she? I hesitate to state so definitively from my lowly perspective, but it is almost certain. She manifests outside of spirit form unnecessarily during long-distance travel, and has shown no attempt to conceal her presence. While it has yet to cause any overt commotion, she would likely be discussed as a local Tokyo rumor on radio programs or similar outlets soon. Her actions show no conscious effort to uphold the concealment of mystery. In that case, her master... No, Lancer didn't kill her master. Apologies. Of course, you see all. Then what shall we do? Eliminating the master would be the most efficient course of action. I'll go and see him. I did want to meet him at least once. As you wish. The sage bowed deeply to the girl. It was a gesture like a demon defeated by a divine being. We're continuing on. The rain had stopped falling. Late at night, just before dawn. The fact that the raging amethyst wind had chosen this route was pure coincidence. A corner of the darkened sky cityscape, at the base of Sunshine 60, I love that place, I love that building, one of the tallest skyscrapers in Tokyo. Oh, you can tell this is old. Yeah, it's not the case anymore. Towering beside the elevated expressway just removed from JR Ikebukuro Station lay a plaza formed by several gentle staircases. A park made from Drake bricks. Drake bricks? Drake bricks. Drake... Is that a phrase? What are Drake bricks? Am I stupid? Drake bricks in Minecraft. Okay, I get Party Next Door bricks lyrics. The song shares a sample with Drake's passion fruit. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's a wait, what? Much like the fake ancient dwellings, this far eastern city gathered elaborate forgeries often. What are Drake bricks? Like dragon? Huh. Is it dark bricks? I don't know. I'm curious about that. A dark cauldron which claimed to be the Holy Grail. A hero who was no hero at all. A stranger bearing a striking resemblance to the one she loved. And a woman who had once lived in the world as both god and human, long dead and now manifesting in a world separated by time. What was just wind moments ago transformed into a human figure with a giant spear. It had stopped. The figure was a woman, a lancer servant. At that moment, the spear weighed 2,400 kilograms. The spear had been altered, changed, evolved into a state where its weight would more suitably be measured in tons. Swoosh, swoosh. With small movements of her fingers and wrist, she spun the spear twice. The tip of the colossal spear tore through space effortlessly. The vacuums generated by the sudden creations of airless voids blew away surrounding shrubs to their roots and shattered streetlights that had just recently been prepared. Lancer grinned. Her mouth's expression should have held some joy, and yet was so terribly twisted. It was difficult to discern what emotion guided the expression. She laughed while lamenting, lamented while raging, and raged while laughing. Hostility, hatred, fury, all were close, all were distant. Sorrow, melancholy, regret, all were distant, all were close. To put it plainly, the woman was breaking into pieces from within. Somewhere deep within herself, in a place that formed her as profoundly as her spiritual core did, only flames remained. Her smile grew wider. Flames gathered around her. The flames that scorched her spirit overflowed beyond her body, unleashed in a form of a mana burst skill. This unnatural mystic flame, like the divine fire from the age of gods, defied the laws of physics to burn on and on. In an instant, the staircase at the base of Sunshine 60 was engulfed in a sea of flames. The glass of the unoccupied shops facing them melted in 2 seconds. It's burning. It's burning. Ah. Lancer laughed. Her eyes reflected memories of days long past. Herself sleeping eternally within a hall of flames. A single warrior boldly intruding upon it without a trace of fear. Who else could it be but him? Her beloved, beloved, beloved. How pitiful, Lancer, to cause your own collapse. A calm voice echoed through the night sky. The cold feeling of the words evoked an emotionless presence reminiscent of Nigel Seward. The flames were snuffed out. The atmosphere, scorched by mystic fire, was cooled with a single word of incantation. Flame control. High-speed incantation. To activate a grand magecraft of the 4 great elements with an utterance of nearly as quick as a single motion. This was no ancient magus, so the voice's owner had to be a magus with a rather peculiar fondness for contraptions. What? With a sharp tilt of her head, or rather, with her head bent at an angle where it might seem like it might snap, Lancer looked— oh, she did a shaft head tilt. She looked up at the voice of at the owner of the voice, the caster of the spell. I found you. I see. So you can fly, can you? Oh, wait, no. Or wait, was that her saying it? Found you. Oh, yeah, that's her, right? I see. So you can fly, can you? The height of about 80 meters. 1 figure, and then 2. Yeah, because that's caster and assassin, so that definitely I thought Manaka would be here, but no. Maybe? She might be somewhere else. Right? A black-haired man in white robes, caster. A masked woman in dark, thin clothes, assassin. In this era, humans could not walk in the sky. Therefore, it seemed like these 2 servants were suspended in the air by magecraft that allowed for aerial walking. Had she been active as her father's daughter, she might have possessed a mystic code that allowed her to conquer the sky. But as a lancer, manifesting in the world as a servant, attempting the same feat would require some ingenuity on her part. It was not impossible, meaning even if her enemy was in the sky, following her proper protocol will allow her to kill them without issue. From here on, I will love Saber. I cannot afford to waste time. I see. Caster nodded. Do you understand? Yes, but if you wish to win the Holy Grail War, the plan of action is a hasty one. Should you not save that noble phantasm for your final opponent? Ah. Caster had a point. It wasn't hard to imagine that Nigel would devise a similar strategy, but Lancer didn't truly grasp the meaning behind the words. She wanted to hurry to her beloved. There was no time for detours. The goal of obtaining the Holy Grail had long since disappeared. Commands from her master, still seated at their base in Akihabara, enforced command spells and silent orders. She deflected them all. For her, whose regret and desire for atonement toward the All-Father had been obliterated by mad love, who had resolved to unleash her abilities to the fullest extent it was possible. To be more precise, though she was not omnipotent, she was in a state in which her abilities were so unrestricted that she should be called near omnipotent. I can fly too. Leaving only her words behind on the ground, Lancer appeared behind them 80 meters above. She was fast. High-speed maneuvering achieved through temporary amplification. She was behind Caster, her spear raised high, preparing a full-power attack while anticipating the activation of a defensive barrier. The high-speed strike delivered by her massively heavy spear would easily pierce through any physical defense provided by a magic circle. Along with the skyscraper towering before them, a sweeping strike, her attack began. Caster and Assassin were shattered in an instant. Not in reality, they were illusions. The giant spear was not selective about its targets. It simply tore through them. The illusion built from magecraft and the skyscraper built from the pinnacle of modern civilization were one and the same. Oh, heavenly stars, macrocosmos. Oh, that's crazy. A voice from even higher. Just before her giant claw, a series of 5 spear thrusts pierced Sunshine 60. A flickering 5-colored light covered the surface. 5-colored light covered the surface of the building, activated in a single beat. The quintuple barrier, guided by the 5 elements. You know what? Let's go 5 elements. Earth, fire, water, and ether. No, let's go. Yeah, like that. Yeah, the quintuple barrier, guided by the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, wind, and ether, completely dissipated the kinetic energy of her super heavy, super fast strike. Power rippled outward like waves across the faint wall of light formed by the barrier. My, you should know that everything in this world belongs to Lady Manaka. You shouldn't expend it on a whim, Lancer. Roaring, roaring, roaring. So you were higher up. Swooping through the air like a bird, kicking the atmosphere itself to soar up, Lancer resumed her movement without hesitation, closing in on the real caster hovering 250 meters above ground. Acceleration, acceleration, a charging stance this time. Giant spear in hand, its total length reaching 4 meters, she transformed herself into an ultimate strike. I won't allow it. The white mask of death drew its dagger. Out of my way! With a light kick, she launched Assassin away, causing her falling interception to fail. Even though she used a well-honed blend of martial arts and dagger techniques, to Lancer, who had watched countless warriors display their skills when she was a Valkyrie, it was merely one foreign technique among countless others etched into her memory from across countless battlefields. Mid-air, she evaded the first collision, then parried every other attack launched before and after they had passed one another at high speed with her empty arm and both legs. Then, a single flash of her blade. Assassin, her tan left arm severed, plummeted helplessly downward. Her dark, spurting blood may have had some effect if it touched her, but the intense flames surging from within Lancer activated as a passive form of defense, vaporizing every single drop of the blood. Now it's your turn to... Aqua. An incantation spun, cutting off her smiling voice. Guided, an elemental the size of a human appeared. Its attribute was water. Shimmering like a jewel, it drew moisture from the air, steadily increasing its mass as it pressed down on Lancer from above. The impact from its weight was negligible, but water was a formless thing. It nullified and deflected all of her attacks, entangling and capturing her. For a living being, absorption should be the end. Servants were not strictly living beings, but as terrestrial endoskeletal creatures, they had to breathe through lungs. Okay, so servants do breathe. Okay. That was a little... Because I had that question of, like, do servants breathe? Like, can we throw a servant in space? And the answer is, no, they still need to breathe. Got it. As a mystical entity that did not derive its energy from oxygen, she would likely endure longer than any ordinary being. But it is one that it depends on who it is. Yet, as a creature that took form by breathing air, suffocation would nonetheless disrupt her magical energy circulation. Anything made of matter has limits. That feels nice. A splash scattered out into the Ikebukuro sky. Lancer plopped out from within the Undyne's body. Had she nullified the surface barrier of the elemental, a barrier that once submerged it should have been impossible for her to escape from, with a composition equivalent in strength to the materialization of a durable heroic spirit. How? Simply by tracing something with her fingertips, as if carving it out. Runes? What do you think? With a laugh, her spear swung through the air, trying to pierce the formless watery aberration. Of course, she failed. Beginning to feel a sense of danger, Caster transformed the crystal into a full-fledged attack form. Not through the casting of a spell. It took less than a fraction of a second. The mass of water, already enlarged to 5 meters, doubled in size again, stretching to a full 10 meters as it swallowed Lancer whole. The attack form of the water elemental did not deliver a slow death through organ failure. It froze its target in an instant upon engulfing it. For living beings, this would forcibly halt the molecular motion of every cell, coffin of ice, so to speak. Once engulfed, inescapable death assaults the target from all 360 degrees. Lancer's words were impossible to discern. A deafening roar erupted at the same time. Cataclysmic fire. Unimaginably intense heat, far surpassing the flames from her mana burst's skill, obliterated the crystal to its core. Flames illuminated the Ikebukuro sky, a recreation of mythology, a terrifying inferno. A single mark of light adorned Lancer's chest, cackling as she floated in midair. When fully unleashed, its power was millions of times more powerful. I feel like there's a way to reduce the redundancy there. It's, you know what? Simple. It's strength. That's all we gotta need. That's all we need. There you go. Its strength was millions of times more powerful than the rune magic wielded by modern magi. A primordial rune. Caster's voice had a twinge of desperation. Indeed. This is a direct transmission from the Allfather himself. Lancer made an abrupt declaration. This was not merely a woman who had gone mad. It was a mad demigod. An ancient being who reigned as if she were nature itself, concept itself, the world itself, before the laws of physics could govern the world. One of the daughters of Odin, the Allfather of Norse mythology, and one of the sisters who selected destined souls in their fated hour. The fallen, elegant essence of a divine spirit who should never have been summoned as a servant. That essence... You're strong, Brunhilder. Oh, who's this? A voice, words. The sound carried the coolness of a gentle breeze. There was no icy chill in it. It was soothing, warm even. And yet, Lancer felt a bone-chilling dread. Eyes that should have been utterly consumed by madness widened for an instant. She fixed her gaze upon the rooftop of Sunshine 60, a skyscraper that boasted a height of approximately 240 meters. So just in case you can't tell, sometimes I do read slightly ahead of where I am just to see who's talking. Okay. Beside the metal lightning rod stood a small shadow, a human child. Born as a human, it took the form of a delicate young girl. Drachen. Her lips murmured the name of a dragon she had once battled to the death. She had never seen her, and yet recognized her immensely powerful aura. It undoubtedly matched that of the wicked dragonkin that once nearly ruled the earth. She froze, but even so, the heroic spirit of the spear almost automatically kicked off of the air and shifted her trajectory toward the girl. Even as I descend into madness, the sliver of self-awareness left within me cried out. The last fragment of her consciousness. The pride of a hero's attendant, that fragment she barely clung to, instantly recognized the potential tragedy about to unfold in Tokyo. 7 magi and 7 heroic spirits. The underground Greater Grail said to exist somewhere in Tokyo. The cardinals, the Holy Church, wishes, desires, the fragile, ephemeral spiral of human thoughts gathering within the Holy Grail. What slumbered at its end, what slept, dozed, awakening at the hour of awakening. Was it because she had just activated her father's runes? Or was it mere coincidence? In her madness, Lancer clearly understood why she, neither a righteous hero nor an anti-hero, was chosen for the Holy Grail War. It was for this very moment. Was it her father's blessing or curse, a curse or perhaps atonement for the countless sins she had committed in her life? Regardless, there was only one thing for her to do. As the wife of a proud hero, as the daughter of a great god, she could not possibly overlook it. That this wicked dragon in the form of a girl... Okay, is she actually the dragon reborn? What? Or is this a metaphor? Does she just see her like the dragon? This wicked dragon in the form of a girl standing before her. I must cleave her in two. Then, Saber, I could spare you. Caster summoned a gnome. I'm gonna take an elf. Sorry. Sensing its master's peril, it cleaved the physical and mystical shield with the strength of a diamond in two, expanding in tandem with the flames of her love. Intensified by the thrill of opportunity, her massive spear, which exceeded 3,000 kilograms, continued its metamorphosis, cleaving everything in its path. However, the giant blade of Lancer's noble phantasm did not reach the girl. Too bad. Seems like it was just too light. Just a fingertip. Oh, she stops it with a single finger? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The girl's pure white fingers stopped the spear's tip. The spear of destiny capable of delivering blows that could disintegrate when swung at a beloved target. The noble phantasm that was immensely heavy even against those her affections toward were shallow, yet here was nothing more than a hunk of mithril. Could it be you don't love me? The girl smiled. You love heroes. You love water. You love the earth. You love Tokyo. But you don't love me. So it's useless. Your noble phantasm is weightless to me. Like a brilliant flower. But it's amazing. You feel so deeply for him. So single. Beautiful flower that could have never appeared in Valhalla. Even when engulfed by flames, it did not burn. Even when swallowed by water, it did not wither. Even when blown by the raging wind, it did not break. Even when the earth below it dried up, it bloomed alone in glory. For a little while, it's okay if you love him. Okay? She said, beyond my spear. The girl smiled faintly at me. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Damn, damn, damn. Wow. God, she's OP. So, yeah, this is my question of how much, like, is this a, because she does say Drachen, right? She does say, and it says born as a human, it took the form of a young girl. Oh, no, that was, oh, no. This wasn't Manaka saying it. This is Bernhilder looking at her and saying Drachen. Oh, okay. She'd never seen her, and yet she recognized her immensely powerful aura. It matched that of the dragonkin that once ruled the earth. Also, should that be dragonkin one word? Usually I think we use one word for that. She froze. Okay. Okay. So that's my question, though. Is that she just seems so powerful, she has the same aura, or is it literally meant to be this is a reincarnated Norse dragon? Because that itself would be interesting in its own way. I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyways, guys, thank you all for listening. What the frick are Drake bricks? I'm still trying to figure that out. I might even message Trafalgar Log just to be like, hey, dude, question. What's a Drake brick? So I want to know. That's going to keep me up at night. Thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you next time for the final main chapter of Act 5, and we'll see, I mean, there's still 50 pages left, so we might, I don't know, we'll have to see if we finish it up in one video, or we do one for the bonus content. We'll have to see, but thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you next time for some more of our reading of Fate Prototype. Ciao. Yo.